domestic violence. In one of those that we registered in Mayuge, we had an incident where a stepson who was recently released from prison after serving 1 year, upon getting home, went and attacked the stepmother and then the local residents, of course, trailed the footsteps up to the home of the stepson, and they also lynched him to death. So we registered 2 incidents of murder, which were avoidable under the circumstances. So this tragic incident of the murder of the stepmother and the subsequent lynching of the suspect by the mob occurred in Nsenda village, Chigandalo sub-county in Mayuge. The female victim was identified as Mutes Fatuma Nabiri, aged 40, and at the time of the incident, the husband had gone to the nearby trading center to buy foodstuffs. So when he came back, he found when his wife was lying in a pool of blood, and local residents got involved, and they traced the footsteps that led to the home of the stepson called Baligasima Muhammad, whom they also descended on, tortured, and lynched to death. Baligasima Muhammad had been released from prison after serving a 1 year sentence, and these are acts of mob justice that we strongly condemn, and we continue to urge Ugandans, please don't take the law in their hands. The law works in Uganda. There's rule of law in this country that we need to respect and observe. Another incident of domestic violence that led to a murder happened in Kasanda, where a jealous husband tried to stop the wife from going to the bar in the trading center to take booze. So when the wife forcefully moved out of the house to go to the trading center and take alcohol, this is a suspect who followed the wife. He had a knife with him and stabbed the wife to death. The suspect in this case is identified as Tuesday Venancio, and who followed the wife called Nachiveyu Christine. She had left their home at Rusana village in Kabugondo parish to go to the trading center, and that is when the husband actually followed her with a knife. He encountered her near the home of one of their neighbors called Rwandema Jackson, where he inflicted knife injuries on her forehead. And by the time they were rushing her to hospital, she had lost a lot of blood, and she died. So the suspect was apprehended by members of the public and handed over to the police. These are acts of domestic violence that we strongly condemn. If there are any conflicts, they are easily managed by the respective child and family protection groups from police as well as the community. Then there was also a border rider who was murdered for insulting a colleague boda rider who had an old motorcycle. And this happened in Greater Bushenyi at Omukasusano Trading Center, Kitagata Parish in Chezoba, where the victim, called Byakureka Nathan, a 25-year-old, was at the trading center, and he met Twebaze Felix, a boda rider, within the same center of Omukasusano. And then he asked, Byakureka Nathan asked Twebaze Felix, a boda rider of Remihingo village, why he rides an old motorcycle. So this annoyed the man, the boda rider, and he slapped the victim twice on the head, and then he picked a brick and hit the victim on the back as he was running away. So the victim eventually succumbed to the injuries. So the suspect, Twebaze Felix, is on the run, but we shall track him down and have him arrested. These are casual incidents that are usually avoidable, and it does not require going that extent of murdering a person. We had two incidents of child murders registered in Buyende, and another one in Serere. The one in Buyende, we had an incident of domestic violence where a one Baitao Chalice was engaged in a physical altercation with his wife, only called Millie. So one of the neighbors, called Mbago Ivan, of Bukanika village, Namukunya parish, in Buyende district, came and tried to separate the couple from fighting, and which annoyed the husband, which annoyed Baitao Charles, who was the one fighting with their wife. So what he did, he transferred his anger and kicked to death a son of Mbago Ivan, who had come to separate them. This was an innocent child who was near the father. So this suspect, Baitao Charles, transferred the anger and kicked the 2-year-old Sinane Basiru. Unfortunately, the kid succumbed to the injuries. Baitao Charles was arrested and is in police custody. That's how young children are victimized innocently. Then the one in Serere, we arrested a stepmother who allegedly strangled a 1-month-old baby girl of her co-wife to death. This incident happened in Angorom village, which is found in Serere. And in the course of last week, the mother of the 1-month-old victim, called Atutu Janet, left her sleeping in the hut of their mother-in-law, or the grandmother to the victim, called Akelo Deborah, as she went to the cassava garden. So it is during this time that the stepmother to the 1-month-old baby girl, called Apeduno Loi, alias Mothers, entered the grandmother's hut and strangled to death the 1-month-old baby, just out of jealousy and rivalry. So She was also arrested for depriving a 1 month old, very innocent girl victim the right to life. So we can basically do Uganda and then wind up with these views. I was talking about was about the census 2024 Uganda, and the police has organized police officers who will be providing security and safety to a number of staff attached to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics who will be carrying out a national census for the year 2024, which is scheduled to kick off or to run from the 9th of May to the 19th of May, in which every household in the country will be asked to answer a short series of questions. These are questions that usually help in influencing policy making and planning for the country in the next 10 years. Of course, the Constitution mandates that a census be taken every 10 years to count all people, both citizens and non-citizens, living in Uganda. Therefore, responding to the census is mandatory for each and every Ugandan or everybody in Uganda because getting a complete and accurate count of the population is critically important. So we are urging Ugandans to embrace and participate in the 2024 Uganda census that is organized by UBOS, the National Planning Authority, the Ministry of Public Service, as well as the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. Thank you. Okutwegatako buli lwabalaza okutangaza eri bannayuganda ebyokwerinda nga bwe babitambula n'engeri gye biyimiriddemu mu kiseera kino. Obutebenkevu mu ggwanga bukyagenda mu maaso munda mu ggwanga ne mu nsalo zaffe n'ensi ezituliraanye, era ng'ebitongole ebikuumaddembe tuli basanyufu nnyo olw'ekyo, naye era tweyongera okukubiriza bannayuganda okukwatira awamu n'ebitongole ebikuumaddembe mu bitundu byabwe byonna byonna. Tugenda kusooka n'eggulire erikwata ku bavubuka babiri abazze batendekebwa oba abaawandisibwa mu bitundu by'e Busia n'ekigendererwa ekyokulaba nga bafuluma eggwanga basobole okwesogga ku kabondo k'abayeekera aba ADF mu kitundu ekya Eastern DRC. So bano ababiri omuli Kwesa Isma myaka 19 nga mutuuze w'e Mawero East Division e Busia, ne Abdallah Sharif myaka 23 ow'e Sofia SL era mu Busia Municipality. Bano baali baabula nga baali balina engeri gye batendekebwamu mu ngeri enneekusifu n'ekigendererwa ekyokuyeekera eggwanga lino. Baasobola okugezaako okwagala okufuluma eggwanga nga bayitira mu kitundu ekya Arua, era poliisi mu kitundu kya West Nile ne poliisi mu kitundu kya Ayivu West, nga bano bakolagana n'abakessi aba CMI, Crime Intelligence ISO ne ESO. Basobola bakwata nga bagezaako okufuluma eggwanga ku nsalo ya Lia Customs Point, basobole okuyingira DRC. Era bano tweyongedde okubatwala eri mu kitongole ekya CMI tusobole okubanoonyerezaako naddala akabonda ako akazze kabatendeka, kubanga tubadde tulwanyisizza nnyo obubondo obadde bugezaako okutendeka okuwandiisa abavubuka n'okubayingiza mu bikolwa ebyobuyeekera basobole okuyeekera eggwanga lino. Mu nsalo zaffe kino kiraga nti twongeddemu amaanyi mu ngeri abantu gye bafuluma ne gye bayingiramu eggwanga. Ebiseera biri eby'emabega aba ADF bafulumyanga nnyo abo be bawandiisizza nga bayitira mu bitundu by'e Kannungu, ebitundu by'e Kasese, Bundibujjo ne Ntoroko, naye kati olw'okuba nti ebyokwerinda byanywezebwa nnyo mu kitundu ekyo babadde bagezaako nnyo okukozesa ekitundu ekya North West Nile nga bayitira Arua, Zombo n'ebitundu ebirala ebiriraanye ekitundu kya DRC. So tugenda kweyongera n'okukola omulimu omulungi nga guno eri bannayuganda. Kunoonyereza ku kikolwa ekyokubba n'okubulankanya ssente mu bbanka ya Equity ezakawera bilioni 65 kubadde kukyagenda mu maaso. Sabbiiti eri eyasooka tulina abantu baali bana abaatwalibwa mu kkooti, ne wiiki eyawedde abalala bana baatwalibwa. Omuwendo kati owaabo abaakatwalibwa mu kkooti ku kyokubulankanya okubba ssente za Equity Bank guweze 8 nga bano bagguddwako. Twabatwala ku misango egy'okufuna ssente mu ngeri ey'obulyake, okukukusa ssente n'okwekobaana okubba ssente eziwerera ddala obuwumbi 65 kuba mu Equity Bank. Bano 8 kati abaakatwalibwa mu kkooti mulimu Musiime Julius, Nabisubi Erina, Tumwimbe Crescent, Semogere Fred, Asimwe Wycliffe, Mugumya Robert, Kato Fred ne Mukwaya Ronald. Era engeri gye baakukusaamu ssente n'okuzibulankanya n'ozibba baagendanga ne balyoka bagaba ssente ezitali mu mateeka eri abo nga balaga eri baganda baabwe ab'emikwano, ate ezimu nga za abantu b'ekimpatiira abataliiyo nga balina engeri gye bateekako ssente ku akawunti ezo, then oluvannyuma ne baziggyayo oba ne bakozesa bakiyambi baabwe okuggyayo ssente zino. Abasinga mu bano be twakatwala mu kkooti baali baalekulira oluvannyuma lw'okunoonyereza okw'ekikugu okulaga okutandika we kwatandika mu bbanka eyo, then abasinga ne balyoka bawandiika nga balekulira. Omwalimu ne managing director gwe baali bayita Onyango Kenneth, ono naye twasobola okumukwata ne tumuggyako statement, naye nga tweyongera okukola okunoonyereza. Akyali ku kakalu ka Polisi, naye nga ofisi ya DPP ejja kutuwabula ku ekyo. So twagala okwebaza abambega okuva mu Kampala Metropolitan abakoze omulimu omulungi wakati awamu ne Equity Bank okulaba nga balondoola abakozi bano ababulankanya ssente. Tusuubira n'omuwendo ogwa ssente zino okuva ku bilioni 65 okweyongerayo, n'abantu n'abakozi abalala abakyali eyo betuteebereza nti balina ekkobaane okubulankanya n'okubba ssente zino.